How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Dyson Sphere Program. Here in, Dyson Sphere Program. In the last episode, we did a thing? Frame material? Is that what we did? No. Well, and yes. Both? Oh no, it was this over here. We made the gravitation lenses, I think. Is that what these things are called? Graviton lenses, not gravitation. Awesome. Okay, so we made those. Those are one of the prelude to getting ourselves some gravity matrices. However, the other component we need is the quantum chips, which of course require some things. So yeah, we're gonna get those things kind of looked at. So if we look here in the recipe, it will be easier to view it. So to make quantum chips, we take our processors, which we already have, and then we combine them with some plane filters, which we're going to need to make, and then we combine cashmere crystal and where was the other, and titanium glass. So that's going to be fun. Basically, we're going to need to open up quite an area, but before we kind of get into that, I want to show you what I was working on in between episodes. So I added several interstellar logistics stations to improve our flow of high purity silicon. And I also added I'm trying to think, what are these things called? A orbital collector to that gas giant right next door to us. So now we can harvest fire ice and we can harvest hydrogen. And then these two are also both doing high purity silicon. So the hydrogen, when we have it, is going over here so that we can get more deuterium for power. And we are starting to run out of iron on this planet. Almost to the point where we will more than likely have to start shipping it here. Whether we decide to do that on our I don't want to say forge world, but on the planet where I'm probably going to make all of our trying to think, just plates, I guess, smelting. I know Beta Arundi 1 has a lot of the ores, so what I'll probably do is, because it has 19 million iron, 20 million copper, right? It has a lot of the raw material, but it doesn't have a very good buildable surface, whereas Beta Arundi 2 has a very nice flat, super buildable surface, right? 100% versus 85. So I think what I'll do is I'll make Beta Arundi 2 our forge world, I'll make Beta Arundi 1 our mining world, and then Beta Arundi, in this case, 4, where we ship everything, right? So basically it goes from the inner planet to this planet, and then from this planet to here. And eventually once we get intergalactic, right, so say another star system, so we go all the way over here, well then this star, anything around it will get shipped over off to us. Because if we kind of zoom out on the big map stage of things, this is our star system. I don't think we've actually looked at this yet. There's a black hole way over here. I might try to actually fly to one of these just to get the achievement for flying to one. Holy crap, 33 million. Holy shit. Yeah, so some of these star systems are very valuable. This one over here, 33 million, 50 million titanium. Good God. Anyway. Yeah. So some of the things we worked on, I'm trying to think. We did general improvements in places. So some of those being we added new mines or we upgraded the belts to things. I added more titanium crystals in preparation for what we need. Because in order to make the titanium glass, we need a lot of crystal. Actually, we need all of this crystal. Well, not all of it just for the glass, but a large chunk of it for the glass. Wait. Hold up. Sorry, I'm looking at my notes right now to land alt. No, the crystal is used for structure matrices. And it's also being used, or going to be used, for the cashmere crystals. The titanium glass requires titanium ingots, and it requires glass, titanium, and water, basically. So that's not too bad. So let's go ahead and get that set up. So we need 20 assemblers. I actually don't know if we have enough. No, we have nowhere near enough. So let's go ahead and get all that queued up just so we can get it processing. Oh, and another thing. So I do want to increase the amount of hydrogen and fire ice we're getting from the gas giant, right? Because it's basically infinite. So let's go ahead and get some of these. But in order to get them, the main thing is we need fully charged accumulators. We can't just make them. We have to actually charge them up. So as you can see, I have 200. So let's go ahead and, I don't know, try to get these placed up in some fashion. Why not there? We're going to need a little bit of a area for this. I guess let's throw them down out here. In the land of nothing exists. We'll do 15. So 20 by 4. I go like this. These are basically batteries that store energy. So effectively, think of it. So, I mean, yeah. I'm trying to think of a way to explain it without making it sound overly complex for something that really is just a battery. Short answer is they store energy for use. Long answer being when your factory doesn't have enough power production, this temporarily kind of offsets that. However, it's not a long-term solution. I mean, I suppose you could build a massive battery bank, but is investing in all that battery worth it if you don't have the production to keep up with it? But I guess it depends on what you're doing. So we need to wait for all these to charge, and so we can see they charge fairly quickly. And if we look at our power, this purple line highlights how much charge or how much energy is going towards charge. I will say I like this interface. Something that I think Dyson or DSP does very well is its graphs and its information that it provides the player. Something that I think other games should and could learn from, right? Even Factorio, which I really like and has a lot of good components to it. I feel like the data that DSP provides is just better, or at least better presented, right? Because sure, you can look at certain statistics in Factorio, but I like the visual breakdown that this provides just a little bit more than how Factorio provides it. That could just be me. But yeah, I mean, I just like how that I can see, okay, well, this much of our usage is going to charge. So in reality, we're only, here. So we have a significant amount left of theoretical capacity for us to use. So we're going to wait for those to charge up so we can get some more orbital collectors, but at least that cleared a little of our inventory out. How many? Oh, wait, what? How do I have 150 left, but we placed... Okay. I don't know. Maybe I have more than I was expecting. So that should be 100. And then... yeah, 6. Alright, so we'll get all these placed down. We kind of talk about what we're going to be doing today. So today's goal is going to be working towards getting ourselves the other half of what we need to get gravitation matrices. And that is the quantum chips. But the quantum chips are very kind of multi-stepped, so I don't think we're going to get the actual end product of getting the quantum chips today. We are going to try to get as far in it as we can, but we're more than definitely not going to get them today. Crap, I actually ran out of room. I guess we'll just expand over here. And like that. And then finally, like that. Awesome. All right. So we can't quite get to the quantum chips today just because of how many machines and how much stuff we have to set up. Um, Now, sure, I could do a lot of it and put in a bunch of cuts. However, the sheer amount of time for crafting of some of the components to just get all the assemblers ready, to get all the belt ready, to get I would probably be standing around for probably a good hour or so waiting for all that to craft. And I don't really want to do that. So we're going to at least set up kind of some framework that we're going to need for it. And then probably once we get that, and then we get the gravitation matrices, which are going to live right here. Backup plan. Oh, well, cool. We got an achievement that I didn't actually intend to get. Let's go ahead and actually research the graviton matrix just so it shows up. Let's see, is there anything else we should research? Yeah, sure. Let's queue some of these things up. We can't get either of those, so we've pretty much hit once. Yeah, we pretty much hit, I would say, kind of the beginning of the end game, right? We're in the end game now, as you know, the MCU would have it. Technically, the only thing we're missing for the VLS, or the vertical launching silo, is those quantum chips. And then the small rocket, or the small carrier rocket, which we need to basically launch our stuff into space. Again, we're missing the quantum chips, and those other components are the Dyson Sphere components, which we can make right now. We just don't have anything set up for those, but we will definitely automate those probably between episodes. Just because I don't really see it as a kind of a major thing for us to have to do right now. And then I'm trying to think what was the other component. Yeah, so we need to get cashmere crystals, titanium glass, and that lets us make plane filters. And then plane filters mixed with regular processors give us the quantum chips, right? So we need 1, 2, 3, 4 items. And we're already producing all of the subcomponents. The main thing that I want, or really the main reason I want to expand that hydrogen intake, is because the cashmere crystals do take 12 hydrogen. So there are a few different ways we can look at getting more hydrogen. So if we look at how we can get hydrogen, we can see that we can either get it through oil, we can get it through the fire ice, we can get a little bit more if we put some in along with some oil, but I need the oil for other things, so I don't really want to do that one. And then the bottom one is just a recipe we don't really have access to right now. So the bottom two aren't options for us. So our options are from oil or from fire ice, and technically we can get it from mining from the gas giant, which is one of the reasons I do want to get more of those orbital collectors. And so, not saying we're going to lean heavily into the orbital collectors, but I think it is something to look at doing. But we do need to utilize that fire and ice, which will give us the graphene, which we can use for things such as burning it off or whatever else. So let's, I guess, trying to see where I thought we were pulling some fire and ice, or fire ice. We are. Okay. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of set up an area. I'm going to put in a cut. I'm going to set up a little bit of an area over here. Or, no. I lied. No. Okay, well, that's on the ground. I'm going to clean up this mess, get some things moved over. Fire and ice we're going to transport over by the graphene. I hopefully have a thing. Yes, we do. Alright. Over by the graphene. And I'm going to pull the fire and ice from the collectors. We're going to send it over here. And then basically interlace the graphite over here. And then we'll split off the hydrogen and send it to where it needs to go. And we'll be right back. And we're back. Alright, so I went ahead and made ourselves the advanced graphene production. So now we have to kind of look at it and say, okay, so now we have our advanced graphene production. What are we doing in order to make sure that we use this graphene and really pause the other graphene? We could take out 10, but what I'm thinking is for now, stack a bunch of graphene, which is fine. We could stockpile it. So it should use... Yeah. Alright, so let's go ahead. We'll upgrade. I think everything should be upgraded, actually. Upgrade. Okay, that should be fine. So we're gonna have quite a bit of hydrogen now. So now the question is, okay, so now that we have the hydrogen, how can we get it from here all the way over here? Well, there's a little conveyor belt that we could maybe route it on. We could try to infuse it there, but I'm guessing what I think we'll do is, I guess I probably should have done that the other way. Time to move the belt, only slightly. Take that, flippable path. Go like that. Go to that one. And then go like that. And then like that. And then... Okay. And that will drain it all the way down. Basically, my goal right now is just to connect this hydrogen that we're getting to hopefully connect it up. It's going to be a mix of our supplemental. And then... Oh, let's back this off just a wee bit. Like that. Awesome. I did also go ahead and queue up a bunch of things. I don't know if that was while I was in the cut or not. Nope. Nope. Let's see. I don't really want to route it. Let's see. Alright, let's upgrade that. Honestly, here, let's just do... We'll just do that. It's not a perfect solution, and actually, let's go a step further. Let's actually use a proper thing for this. Okay, then I want input priority. So, the reason I want the left to be our input priority is so that this never backs up, because we do need the oil. We're gonna have to attach more oil, because I was looking kind of in between. We're only making 37.88 a second, or potentially we could. Technically, we don't have all the oil, crude oil wells tapped, but hey, quantum entanglement. Basically, just a tier 2 chemical plant. So we'll continue going through. Yeah, because this one's a 2.6. So we'll go through, we'll finish this up, and then I think we'll probably call it here for today. So we got one step closer to definitely getting our Dyson Sphere. I feel like we've made pretty solid progress. I think now that we're kind of in this stage of the end game, and I would say I could comfortably say that, right? I mean, definitely let me know if I'm wrong. Like, if I'm not even close to the end game, let me know. But at least from what I can see for the tech tree, like I know a lot of this is kind of a little bit of bloat. Right? Because I feel like the early game probably ends about here. Your mid game probably starts once you start getting into like the structure and the information matrix. And maybe you could even define the structure as early game, right? And your mid game is really here, and your end game is really way down here, and you got to do some exploring because, you know, like we looked over here on the star map, we have not touched hardly, you know, obviously we haven't gone to any other place. Right, so we could zoom all the way out, right, and bring up the entire Milky Way. Now, obviously, you can't, you know, go through the Milky Way. You can only go into your little star cluster, but I don't actually think we've taken a look at this view either in an episode, but as you can see, so right, so this is our, the whole game, if you will, right? And so you can kind of see what's funny is, so the way DSP is made, right, is so on one hand there's a finite amount of stars within the whole universe, but within, actually, I don't know if this is technically the entire universe or just a galaxy. I think it's actually the galaxy, because I think it did say Milky Way. I think it said Milky Way. So anyway, there is technically a finite number of stars within the galaxy, right? However, there's so many that every one of these dots is a player, or potentially a player. And by that I mean every one of these suns, or every one of these clusters, right? Because not every one of these dots is a sun. Everyone's a cluster. Each cluster gets defined as basically a seed. So I don't, we've played over here and we've played over here. I don't know which one's which. I think this one's the one we're playing right now. But as you can see, this is the total number of actual Dyson spheres, which not actually that many, but look at how much power gets generated by them, right? And the total number of solar sails, that is 4 million, 4.1 million solar sails. That is insane. And obviously you can search up certain seeds, you can look up certain stars, right? So we could change this all the way up to a certain amount. We could look at resources, and right, we could look for one, and bam, it found us one with the number. We click it again, and then right, so it's gonna find us that. Then we could use that seed if we wanted to, right? I don't know. This is just really cool. I really like that they include kind of that tidbit, and then our little galaxy, or not galaxy, but our local little cluster. And so we definitely have a lot to kind of explore in this. So I'm curious to see kind of what that is, right? Because even if we look here, we can see how some of these, it's insane. Like 83 oil per minute, or in this case, there's no oil in this one. Still no oil, right? So honestly, I think oil will probably be one of the harder things for us to get. And then of course some of those more rare resources for us to harvest. So I do think we're kind of at the start of endgame, and I'll definitely kind of say that comfortably. What goes from here, I think, is just scaling things, making sure, right, our production values of things are meaningful and not just a trickle of a resource, but actual belt loads, planet-sized factories, right? So I think we're going to kind of not really snowball, but we are definitely moving towards that eventuality of just really expanding the factory and really tapping all of these little ores and sending them to where they need to go. And with that, I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching, guys. If you haven't already, make sure you smash that like button, as it really does help out the channel. Or, gently tap it, right? Don't want to destroy it. You want to let other people be able to hit the like button as well. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, or anything else really on your mind, or if you just want to say hi, leave that down in the comment section below, as I really do enjoy reading all of the comments, and I try to reply to as many as I can. Sometimes there's not really anything I can reply to, but if you have any questions, I try to reply to them as soon as I can. If you haven't already, make sure you smash that subscribe button, as it really does help with the channel, as it really does show me that you guys are enjoying the series and are wanting to support the channel a little bit. Help us hit that 1,000 subscriber goal, because then we can really kind of expand this a little bit more. And other than that, I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good one.